Oh, my aircraft commander? Yeah, Jack Van Loan. Yeah, he did not get injured like I did. And I mean, he got beat up pretty bad during torture, but yeah, he was, when we were together when we were captured up on top of that mountain, and we were captured by indigenous tribes people, not Vietnamese. These are some kind of tribes people that lived up in the mountains. And one group took him down one side of the mountain, and the other group took me down the other side, because there was a bounty on our head, and that bounty would feed a village for decades. And so two groups each wanted to get their bounty, so they separated us so they could each collect. Yes, sir.
I heard, I don't know how true it is, that there were 7 enlisted people captured, and I heard another account said that there were 3 enlisted people captured. And the group that I heard had 7. They got into trouble some kind of way. And they were going to court-martial them, but one guy committed suicide, so they decided not to court-martial him.
I've never heard that story. That's probably not true. However, let me address the enlisted part of that question, though. We were mostly aircrew members that were being held captive most of the war in North Vietnam. So we were a collection of pilots and navigators and EWOs and radar observers and like. And since we were aviators, we had at least 2 years of college. 2 years is all the Navy required. Air Force required for it 4-year degree, and that meant we were officers, the bulk of us, and that meant that. And not because we were an officer per se, or had a college education per se, but that combination meant we were a little older than the average GI when we were captured, and that probably had some effect on our ability to survive the way we did. But there were some enlisted men, and for the bulk of the war, there were only 4 enlisted men in North Vietnam. 3 of those were Air Force pararescue personnel. Okay. The 4th was a Navy seaman named Doug Hegde. And Doug was serving on a destroyer off the coast of North Vietnam. And he went topside one night and did for a smoke break. Didn't realize that the destroyer was going to start shelling the coast. And when those big guns on that destroyer fired, the concussion blew Doug Hegde overboard. There's no light out there in that ocean, none, unless there was a moonlight, and there was none. Pitch black in the ocean by himself without a life vest or life raft. He tread water for 10 hours before he was picked up by a North Vietnamese fishing boat. How many of you think he could have done that? Tread water for 10 hours? I couldn't have done it. I wouldn't have survived that, I guarantee. But he did. Yeah, incredible. But the 4 enlisted folks, in terms of rank, they were at the bottom of the list amongst a whole bunch of officers. But that did not in any way affect their performance or affect the way that the rest of us looked at them. We were all part of one organization, all one band of brothers, all working together to help each other survive. and they were as much a hero as anybody else. They went through what everybody else went through. They endured. They came home. They deserve any accolades they got. And in fact, the three Air Force pararescue men were given battlefield commissions by our senior ranking officer in Hanoi at the time. And when they returned home, President Richard Nixon confirmed those battlefield promotions.